Hello everyone, and thank you for joining the Custom Screens webinar. Let's get started with the housekeeping legal disclaimer. I'm going to leave this up for just a minute and allow you to read that before we proceed on with the presentation today. Next, if you have any questions related to this webinar, you can use the chat feature in the GoToWebinar, and one of the consultants we have on the call with us will answer you. Any other questions can be answered with our direct support at 1-800-342-2599. I'll be your presenter today. My name is Allie Whitaker, and I'm the Professional Services Training Team Lead here at Calyx Software. Today we're going to be covering custom screens. So we're going to walk through how you can create a custom screen inside of your Point, how you locate that custom screen after you've created it, and how to take the data that you've put in your custom screen into a report or a custom form. Let's get started. I'm going to open up Point here. Custom screens allow you to create a screen and an area in Point where you can enter data that's currently not in the file and that you may want to track or put onto a report or custom form. Some examples might be that you need to add fields for disclosing the nearest living relative or letter of explanation. You can also add fields for adding other users' names in the file if your company has an LO or processor assistant and there's not an area currently for their names in the file. Today I'm going to go through an example of adding in the nearest living relative, the VA disclosure information. This is currently not inside of Point. I'm going to pull up the basic information that we need to get inside of Point here. We're going to put in the relative's full name, relationship, their address, and their phone number. So we need to put a screen inside of Point that will have this information that we can later pull into this form. To get started, we're going to go up to the Utilities menu at the very top and down to Custom Screen Settings. Inside here, you can create up to 8 custom screens, and each custom screen contains 25 fields that you can add. To start, you do want to make sure that you are on an empty custom screen. You'll see in the top left there is a drop-down with Custom Screens 1. This is where you can navigate between your custom screens. I'm going to leave it on Custom Screen 1 since I don't have anything there. And below that you can see the list of field 1 through 15. If you scroll further down, you can see all 25 fields that you are able to enter information for. We're going to start over on the right with the screen name. This is what is going to appear in your forms list. So I'm going to name this one my VA nearest living relative. Below that, we can fill out our field name. The first field name that I've got is the relative's name. Then you have options below that for the field type. Let's walk through the options. Disabled will not allow you to enter any data into this field. Text, this will allow the user to enter any text into the field. Our text long, this allows you to enter more characters than just the text would allow and would be good on a letter of explanation where a longer input is needed. Integer number is just a number that you are entering. Currency gives you the dollar amount look. Percentage is going to give you the percentage look with your data. There is a date that gives you the month, day, and year. We also have a phone number format, a social security format, and a drop-down list. And we'll use that one later. For this one, I'm going to use the text. This is going to allow the user to enter the relative's name. Back over on the left, we're going to select the field 2 and move on to the next piece of data that we need. The next one in our form is relationship. In this form, you could also use the text and allow the user to enter the relationship, or you could use the drop-down list and have pre-selected answers for them. We're going to use this for the example here so you can see how this is done. I'm going to enter just several options of relationships. So when we're in our custom screen here, these will be the only options that could be selected with this field of relationship. I'm going to move on to field 3. Our field name, we're going to go for their address. So I'm going to type in street, and again allow them to enter text. Moving to field 4, I'm going to put in city, do text as well. Move to field 5 and do the same for our state and then our zip code with field 6. You could put all of these together in one in an address. I chose to separate them out to make it more obvious where to put the data so it'll look better on our form. The last piece of information we need to put on here is the relative's phone number. So I'm going to type in phone here, and we do have a phone number option. So this will automatically put the numbers that they enter in the custom screen in this field into a phone number format. I'm going to click OK here, and you're going to get a custom screen setting notice. This is to have it update on your server, accessible for all of your users. If you're self-hosted, you will need to note that you will need to do a full force sync and a rebuild of the PDS custom field table. If you're hosted by a company like Focus IT or ABT, they will take care of the syncing and saving each night, so the next day it will be available on your server and to all your users. I'm going to click OK here. Let's jump into our Point Central real quick. I'll show you, if you are self-hosted, the screens to go to. I've opened up my Point Central administration site, and I'm going to log in. Over on the left, you'll see the tan box. We're going to go to Configuration and Point Fields, and then we're going to go to Custom Fields. Up at the top, you'll see an orange button, Rebuild Custom Fields. This is where you'll need to go to sync the custom fields that you just created inside of Point. You'll see below the Rebuild Custom Fields button, there is a full synchronization button with a check mark. You will want to run this at night when everyone is out of their Point files and has Point closed. All right, we're back over into our Point system. I'm going to open up a file for us. I'm going to show you where you can locate your custom screen that you've made inside of your Point file. First way is from the top menu bar, Forms. And if you scroll down to the very bottom, you have Custom Screens and Fields. I'm going to open that so we can see the screen we just created. Another way you can find your form is over on the left, the list of all of the forms. It's going to be at the very bottom. So if you scroll all the way down, you're going to see your form listed there. Now, if you do want to move your form higher in your list, there is an easy way to do that. It's under your Utilities and your Customized Shortcut toolbar. This is going to duplicate that form list on the left. What you'll do is go find your form. So we're going to find our nearest living relative, highlight it, and then at the top right, the list layout buttons. You can move it up or down, or if you want to move it to the top and see it quicker, you can do that and then adjust it as needed. I'm going to move mine down right below my application. So it's now easier for me to find in my forms list quickly. Just to note, this list layout is per user, so if you update this, it is not going to change it for everyone in your company. Let's go ahead and add some of the data here so we can test it when we enter it into a form or report. I'm able to type in the open spots, Our relationship, we did this as a drop-down list, so you can see when I click that arrow, these are all of my options for my drop-down list. Then we did the rest just as basic text fields. So we could enter in the address, and you can see the phone number. When I entered it, it automatically put it into the phone number format for us. I'm going to go ahead and save our information in our file. And now that we've put in our information, let's walk through taking the information that you've put into this custom screen and putting that into a custom report or a custom form. The first thing that you're going to need to do that is the field IDs for this custom screen that you've made. I'm going to go ahead and close out my file here with File Close. And to locate the field IDs, you're going to go to Utilities, and then near the bottom, the Load Field ID and Borrower. This is going to open up a blank file with all the field IDs listed for you. I'm going to click on the form list on the left for my nearest living relative. And this brings up our new custom screen that we made with all of the new field IDs that we created. We're going to need these numbers so we can put it into a custom report or a custom form. So take a screenshot, write it down. These are the numbers that you will need. I'm going to go ahead and close this one down as well with File Close. And we're going to move down to the bottom left where it says Templates in orange. Let's first walk through entering the information into a report. I'm going to select the Reports and Marketing from that template category on the left. And just create a new report for us. I'm going to title this one our VA Nearest Living Relative. And then we can start entering our information. Since these are on our new custom screen, we're going to need to type in our field name that we want to show. I'm going to start typing in the fields that we created, relative's name. I push Tab, and then I am in the Field ID area. This is where you want to enter the field ID numbers that we got from our new screen. The relative's name was field ID 9900, so you're going to enter 9900 in that field ID. And then you just continue on entering in the rest of the fields. You'd continue on till you had all of your fields in the way that you want to have it in your report. I'm going to go ahead and close this one. Another way to use that custom screen data is in a custom form. So I'm going to click down in the custom form area. I've already imported my custom form for the VA Nearest Living Relative. We do have knowledge-based articles and other videos on how to do custom forms. So if you do need help with that, please go refer to those. I'm going to click on this and open it up. Our form opens up here, and you can see we have our Point Custom Form box on the left. First, we need to select where we want to have the information flow into. I'm going to select the relative's first name and put my cursor there. I'm going to go over to our custom form box on the left and scroll all the way down to the bottom. There we have the other point fields not listed above. I'm going to select that and then click the Insert button that's to the right of that. This is going to allow us to enter in any of the field IDs that we need. So for the relative's full name, that field ID again was 9900. And I'm going to click that Insert. And it's going to put that data in our form for us. You would go through the same steps with the other fields that you want to pull from your custom screen. Relationship, again clicking that Insert, entering your field ID, and clicking Insert again. This is going to map in the information from your custom screen into your custom form here. I'm going to click Save here and close our form out. With custom forms as well, you are able to add in the e-signatures. If you do want this form to be able to be sent out with your e-signatures, you do have that option with that e-signature blocks up at the top. Thank you all for attending today's webinar. We hope you've received some helpful information today. If we did not get to your question during this webinar, we will reach out to you shortly with that reply. At the end of this session, you'll receive a 5-question survey, and we would appreciate you completing that so we can improve our training program and follow up with you if you so choose. To further assist you, a recording of the webinar will be available through the Calix customer portal very soon. Have a great rest of your day.